Alright, so Shonen Smash is going to be releasing today, or is probably already released by the time you're watching this video. And this video is basically just going to be breaking down every single thing that you really need to know for the release of the game. Now, there are some things that I do want to say at the start, and it's that I only have around 4 hours of playtime on the game as of recording this video. So if they have some things that I failed to mention inside this video and that you discover while playing, I guess I'm sorry for clickbaiting you in that sense, but even still, the combat is not really that hard to get down, and I do actually have like a really good sense of it. So I feel like a good way to start off is what you should do when you first load inside the game. So currently we're inside the test server, and when we first load inside the game, your screen is just going to look something like this. If you go stand on that gigantic pad right there, it will basically allow you to start up a match. This is mainly just going to be used inside public servers. However, you can actually create your own smaller lobbies right here and play with friends if you choose to do that, or host like smaller maps inside of like public servers. So all of these things allow you to change your mode. The modes are pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I really need to explain them, but if you just change the slider, you can basically upgrade whatever you want to change on this mode. And you also have all the maps right here as well. And when you click menu, you're going to have banners that actually pop up for you. Now, like I said, I don't know if they're going to change this for the official release, but you would spawn in with some type of crystals, and the characters are just going to be the feature starter characters. Now, the thing here is that all the starter characters were actually free for me to choose from. I have every single character inside the game by just pressing equip on them because they were free for me to get. If they're not free for you and you do spawn in with like one starter character, I would honestly recommend summoning on this banner because you don't know when other starter characters are going to come out, and every single character inside this game is good. That's something that I really do want to like get across. Another thing to note is that these banners really are just going to be used for getting emotes and skins primarily. I'm not sure why there is like a banner for the starter characters, because they did say that like most characters could just become bought and you wouldn't really need to like summon for them. But even still, the banners besides that are just here for skins. And if you do spawn in with only one starter character, I do highly recommend buying the characters first. And another thing inside your settings is this is where you actually can see the controls. So right now you have keys or you have mouse. If you were to click mouse, it is going to change your controls, but to just basically start with keys, basically the combat has your light attack, which is going to be J, your special, which is going to be K, your L, which is going to be guard, your M, which is going to be drive, and your taunt, which is going to be N. There are different variations of these, and I will be talking about them later, but just in case you don't want to play with keys, you actually can play with your mouse. And the controls for that would be M1 to attack, M2 to do your special, guard is going to be M3, which is like clicking the middle button of your mouse, drive is going to be F, and your taunt is going to be R. There's also other settings here as well that you can control and turn off if you want to. Now, to get on to like the main bulk and what you're probably going to be, what you kind of have to do if you're playing this game is going to be fighting. Now, there are currently 11 characters here, and one thing I can tell you is that every single character is good. Think of it like Super Smash Bros, and in case you haven't played Super Smash Bros, every character is good. It just depends on the amount of time that you put into the character. There isn't one that I can honestly just recommend you to play off the start, but to just keep the showcase really simple, I'm personally just going to use Brawler to like kind of explain it, while also throwing in clips of me fighting people from yesterday. Right here, you also have a little description of what your character can do. Now, since Brawler is really simple, you can basically see all of his skills right here, but you don't really have to memorize it here because there actually is going to be stuff in the game screen for you to actually see and control for yourself. Alright, and now we're actually inside the game. So for this whole entire tutorial right here, I'm personally going to be using the keys command, so like J, K, L, M, and N, and I'm just going to be explaining it that way. But to basically just start off, I'm going to show you every single variation of your light attack. So something I realized while editing this video is that I say light attack a lot, and I'm technically wrong. It's not your light attack, it is literally just your attack. I just call it light attack because usually when I play different games, there's a medium and heavy one, but there isn't for this game. So every time I say light attack, just know that I basically mean your attack, or yeah, pretty much your attack button. Back to the video. So if you use the light attack in neutral, which is going to mean like not pressing W, not pressing S, or pressing D, your light attack is just going to look like this. It's just a basic punch, and if you were to spam that, you can actually do a light attack combo. Now, there are different variations of this. If you hold S down and you press J, you're just going to do like a low light attack. And if you press W, or if you hold W and you press J, you're going to do like a light attack where you attack up inside the air. Now, there are different variations of this depending on what you do, like I just now showed. But you can also hold your light attack and charge it up so that you can do more damage, which would basically add more percentage to your person that you're fighting's bar. There is also another set for your neutral M1s, and this is if you were to jump inside the air. So if you were to jump inside the air and press W and J, you'll basically do that up attack again. Now, if you're inside the air and you're either holding A or D, you're just going to do the air version of your light attack, and that's just going to be depending on the direction that you press. It's the same attack, just depending on the direction. And if you're inside the air and you press the down version of your light attack, it's just going to be the downward version of it. So specifically for this character, she does like a downward kick when she's coming down. And I can only do that version of the skill if I'm slightly inside the air. You don't have to jump up fully inside the air. As long as you're off the ground itself and you're holding whatever key you want, you can do the version of it. Following that, you're actually going to have your specials. Now, your specials are mainly just going to be your combo starters, your combo extenders, basically your main source of damage besides light attacks. So if you look inside the right hand corner, you actually can see every skill that you have for a certain character, and depending on the direction that you're facing, it's just going to be the opposite. So I'll start off by just pressing K in neutral, and neutral meaning I'm just standing still and I'm not doing anything else. And my special for that is just going to be Firebolt. Every character is going to have a neutral special, and every character is going to have a side special, a down special, and an up special. And depending on if you jump inside the air, certain characters will actually have different specials. And I'll show you an example of that when I'm done. But to move on for that, I also have my side special. Now, this is going to be me pressing D or A. It doesn't matter the direction for the side special. And it'll basically just do my special as if I was running towards that side. Next, we have my down special, which is going to be Kick Barrage. And this is from me holding S and pressing K. And as you can see, it does a different special. And then we also have my up special, which is going to be Dragon Punch. And this is from me holding W and pressing K. Now, once you are done using all your specials, right now the cooldowns for them are very low. I'm not sure if this is because they're private servers or if it's just like this. But right now, you also will use these specials to kind of build up your beater, which is going. And this right here is actually an example of what it's like when your specials do change when you're inside the air. So if I was to jump up inside the air, as you can see, my charge and impact change to two different skills. And to basically use these specials, it's just the direction that you're in, and it's just going to be inside the air. If I was to use my down special, it changes from impact, which is my down special here, into a meteor drive, which is like a gigantic uppercut hitting down on the floor. So be wary, sometimes when you jump inside the air and you see that your skills change, it's just because you're going to have different specials when you're in the air compared to when you're on the ground. And to also add this in, some skills will have a second part. So for example, if you're playing this character that I'm playing right now, I honestly forgot her name. She has a skill called Charge. And when you're inside Charge, you're going to have three options of what you want to do when you're running. So the first one is going to be if you press your neutral, which is J, you can do a barrage. The second one is going to be if you press your special, which is K, you can do like a special attack. And the third one is going to be if you press L, which is L. You can basically do a feint, which allows you to like slide past your character or slide past the person with some form of iframes to be your ultimate. Now, each character is going to have a different ultimate, and I kind of advise you to just experience it and find out what yours is for yourself. But depending on the character, if you press M, you're either going to go inside of a mode. Like, for example, Brawler and Goku, they have a mode. So I basically just became overheated, and once I'm inside this mode, my M1s and everything else is just going to do a lot more damage. Pretty sure they also do burn damage as well. Yeah, they do. My M1s and everything do burn damage inside this mode. But if you look at my specials again, I actually did build up my special meter again. So I can actually use my gigantic finisher type of special. And I'm going to use it here by just pressing M again. And depending on your special, it's either going to have a lot of startup, and if you use it close enough to the person, it actually will put them inside the animation. One more thing to note is that if you're playing a character that has a special where it's their mode, once you press M, your bar right here is going to signal basically how much more time you have left inside that mode. Now, grabs are pretty important inside this game. It helps get pressure off you. All you really have to do is just press L and you press J, and you can like choose what you want to do next. You can use your special, or you can just continue hitting them by just spamming it again. So yeah, grab is a pretty important part of this game. Moving on from attacking though, this is going to be the defensive side of the game. And from what I know right now, there's currently 3 defensive options of the game. So if you are to just hold L, you actually can block. Now the thing is, your block, basically the circle symbolizes how long you can block for. You can only hold block for a certain amount of time, and for this circle to basically become full again, you would have to stop holding block. And as you can see, once I stopped holding block, my shield went back to just becoming like the full size. The thing is, the longer that you hold block and the smaller your shield becomes, the less damage that you'll actually be able to take from an attack. I'm probably just gonna have clips where I'm blocking up on the screen for this one, but if you're being hit by a skill that has multiple attacks, the chances of you being guard broken from that skill are a lot higher depending on when you block. Now, another thing to note inside this game is that there also is perfect blocking. Now, perfect blocking is just blocking at the right time. Basically, if your opponent is going to strike and you block at the same time, you'll just be perfect blocked. And to know when you perfect block someone is when your screen slightly becomes slower or your gameplay just becomes slower. Now, the developer did say that he might actually change this and just make it so that there's like an indicator to perfect block. But as of right now, you know that you perfect block someone when this feels like the game is moving a lot slower, and this is basically just an opportunity for you to actually attack your opponent. Besides blocking and perfect blocking, the last form of defense that I actually know for this game is going to be dodging, or should I say perfect dodging. Now, this is basically when you dodge at the right time, and the thing with dodging is you can also use it as a recovery option as well. So if I was to jump off the map and I was to press L, I can actually dodge inside the air and just basically boost myself back onto the map. You only get 2 dodges inside the air from what I know right now, and if you were to like try and get back without your 2 dodges, it would have to be from a skill that you use. And you can also dodge while on the ground. Now with this one, you have to be pressing A or D or just running inside any direction to actually dodge. And you can dodge as much times as you want. It's just that the longer or the more times that you actually try to dodge, it's just going to become slower, which is basically lowering your frame to basically dodge the attack that you're trying to dodge. So I don't recommend spamming this because you can see how slow my character is moving, and that's not a good thing because you would just be getting punished a lot for dodging like this. And to refill it, you simply just have to wait a certain amount of time like that, and then you can dodge like at the same speed again. And one more thing I also want to mention is that you actually have Q dashes once you go your mode inside this game. So not every character has a mode, but if your character does have a mode and you were to press L, you can actually turn your dashes into flash steps, but they kind of share the same passives as the dashes that I was just talking about, which is going to be the perfect dashes. So just keep that in mind. Once you go mode, you also receive flash steps for certain characters that have transformations. Besides that though, I feel like everything else is really self-explanatory for the game. On the main menu, if you just were to press AFK server or ranked, you should know what you're going to be getting into, and the game honestly is not that hard to learn. Like I said, I don't want to just tell you to buy one character that's OP, because every single character inside this game is really good, and I really do recommend that you just play anything that you want. But besides that, just enjoy the game and have fun. If this video did help you, please feel free to like and subscribe. I do appreciate it, and I would also appreciate that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Flame Charmer is my favorite character, and she feels like the best character inside the game, which is why I use her. And yeah, thanks for watching the video.